안녕하세요, 쟁입니다. Hey, Rose, I'm back to another video. This is going to be a manga haul. Excuse me. I've recently been getting some things on Makari. Probably way more than I should, to be honest, but I wanted to share what I picked up for you. I also did pick up some figures. You might be able to tell by the shelves above my head, but most of them are Shishomaru. The only one that isn't new is the Funko Pop on the right here. He's not new, but the rest of them are new. But when I get through showing the books, I'll do a better close-up on the figures so you guys can see those. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and get started. The first, because I got the whole series for this one. The first one that I got is Imadoke. This is by the same mangaka as Sarah's Celestial Legend that I've done a review on my channel for, and I'm pretty sure I did do Alice 19th as well, which is by them. I really do like her writing style personally. I just feel like it fits me. Like, I connect with it more. I don't know how to really explain it. But this one basically follows a girl who just really likes plants and flowers and likes gardening and things like that. And she goes to this elite academy because she's got the grades for it, but she said all of the other kids snub her because she didn't get in through money, she got in through her work ethic. So and it says she's hoping to start a gardening committee so that she can make friends and stuff. So this will be interesting. It is only 5 volumes, which I'm pretty sure is the shortest one I own, because Alice 19th by her is 8 and Sarah's by her is 14. She might have another longer one that I don't know about, but as far as series I've read, I'm pretty sure this one is the shortest. Next I have Angel Sanctuary 16 and 18. Sorry, has a reflux really bad today. If you guys don't know, I have been trying to collect more of the series. I own volumes 1 through 13, but trying to find these for a decent price has been an absolute freaking nightmare. The girl on Makari was super sweet. She was like, I'll just charge $5 for the 2 of them. So I got these at a really great price. Sorry, my tooth rubbed up against the other one. It made my teeth grit. Anyway, the premise behind this series is basically it follows a brother and sister. I know the brother's name is Setsuna, but I forget his sister's name. It's been forever since I've read the series. I do plan to read it again at some point. But I would like to have the entire series when I go to read it, so there's not a gap. Does it say on the back? No. And I don't want to show the back because the story will be... Apologies if you heard that. We have a neighbor that likes going up and down the road, like full blast and everything, so if you heard that, I apologize. Anyway, Setsuna and his sister, and they basically start having feelings for each other in the romantic way, which I know is not good, but they give an explanation for this, and I'm not going to really... I will just say this. They are the reincarnation of angel lovers. That is all I'm going to say. And at least that's the impression that I got. I could be totally wrong, so if you've read this series and what's coming out of my mouth isn't true, please tell me in the comments, because I would love to know that. But that was the impression that I got when reading it, and I think I only read up to volume 4 or 5 when it was in the library. And then my library had a sale where 1 through 13 was basically $1 a piece, so I grabbed those. I do plan to, like I said, read them at some point. This is 20 volumes, and I did find volume 20 on Mercari for a decent price, so I'll probably go ahead and get it. So then the only ones missing will be 14, 15, 17, and 19. So I'll only need 4 more, which is pretty good. Because like I said, trying to find older series like this, it can just get to be such a pain sometimes. It'll lower the camera just a little bit. There we go. This next one is a series, but not all of the volumes. This is Sakura Taisen. Looks like this. This is a 9-volume series. However, volumes 8 and 9 did not get printed in English, which is very annoying. I found out about that after I received it. However, a friend of mine, Dan, hi Dan if you're watching, he found a website where I could read the rest of the series in English. So I'm not going to be left in the dark wondering what the heck happened when I get to the end of volume 6. So Dan, thank you so much for that, because I know a bunch of us in the manga community struggle with that. We get into a series and then we realize the rest hasn't been printed in English and we're just like, crap. So I will see if he can just give me like the general page for reading manga series in English that were never printed in English. And if he can, then I'll link it below. But if not, then just know that there are sites like that out there, basically. But this takes place, this is volume 1, takes place in Tokyo in 1921. But it follows, it says, after the horrific demon war, Japan is a peaceful and prosperous place with the occasional monstrous robot crashing around town. Not to worry, there's always a lovely young girl waiting to cut down these robots samurai style. Enter Insai Nogami, a recent Naval Academy graduate. He finds himself in Tokyo, assigned to the Imperial Theater as a ticket collector. Fine officer, but fairly clueless, Ogami is about to be swept away into a roiling world of robots, demons, and beautiful girls in uniform. So I just thought this sounded really cool. I just realized that a lot of the volumes I have this time are Tokyo Pop, but anyway. I do plan to get to this soon. The current book I'm reading at the moment is not manga related, so I would like to finish that first. But I do plan to get to Sakura Taisen at some point. I need a new bookshelf though, and the closest IKEA is like 2 hours away, and it's in a very densely populated area, so I'm either just gonna have to bite the bullet and either buy a bookcase from a furniture place here, or just try to make do with the one that I do have. But the one that I do have, it's getting to be a little bit ridiculous, so. Okay, next is By the Sword 1 and 2. This is by Sanemi Match. Sanami match. Sorry, I was trying to think of the vowel pronunciation. But anyway, it looks like this. This is by ADV Manga, which I've never heard of this company before. I remember seeing volume 1 in the library years ago, like back when I was a kid. So, and I think I did end up reading volume 1, but I never read volume 2, and I think that there is a third and fourth, it might just be third one in the series that I would like to get, but again, it being out of print makes it hard to get, kind of annoying. But this basically follows... Where's the summary on this thing? Is there not one? Huh. Most have a summary on them, but it's strange. Anyway, but I know that it does follow a samurai. And they're like on a mission to find an important artifact. This is also by the person that did the series Fake. So if you've read Fake, let me know down below because I'm curious if it's any good as well. Because like I said, I did read volume 1 of this years ago. Like, almost 25 years ago. Okay, well, maybe not that young. At least 20 years ago. Because I'm 32 now. So, I think I was like preteen when I read these. But, definitely am excited to own these. Like I said, I hope to get the others. If I can find a website that sells them for cheap and not an astronomical amount, that would be great. But, not holding out my hope for that, basically. I do have more manga coming in the mail, but that will be in February's haul. Because I don't want to keep, like, prolonging it and then the stacks just get bigger, bigger, bigger. You know what I mean? Okay, next I have Ultramaniac 3, 4, and 5. I do have 1 and 2 coming, but that'll be in February's haul. This is a series I've heard from a lot of my friends in different manga discords, including the Dudettes Discord server that Caketon's created. Caketon's here on YouTube. But it says, at first glance, Nina Sakura seems like a typical teenage girl, but she's actually a transfer student from a witch school in another dimension. Now enrolled at a middle school in Japan, Nina is hoping to improve her grades, make some friends, and practice love spells on her unsuspecting new classmates. So this just sounds like it'll be a riot. And it's only 5 volumes long. It's not really that, like, bad. Like, there we go. I'm trying to tilt the camera down a little bit. So it's not that bad in terms of length. The bookstore that I got these from charged me $5 a piece for these 2, and then this one I think I paid $5 for as well. And then 1 and 2 I also paid $5. So not that bad considering, again, the series is out of print. I swear I've got a bunch of Tokyo Pop and a bunch of Shoujo Beat, I just realized. So if you don't like Shoujo, I am sorry. I am so sorry for that, but that's just what I gravitate towards. Next I have Pandora Hearts 3, 4, and 5. I have read the entirety of Pandora Hearts, however, I wanted to own it for myself personally because I really enjoy the series. I think it's a very unique take on Alice in Wonderland. And this is also one of John Oriva's favorite series as well. Sorry, I thought I felt my watch go off, but anyway. So here's the cover of volume 3, which I'll let y'all guess as to what part he plays in this Alice in Wonderland telling. And there's this Volume 4, and Volume 5. So, I think it's 34 volumes in total. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 34 volumes in total. Grab this stack. Okay, the next two are a complete duo. And I have two series of two. So this is the first one. They're both by Ayakano, and it's Blank Slate volumes 1 and 2. This was another one that I read from the library that I knew at some point I would want to own. And I am so glad that I found it for the price that I did, because these two, along with the two from the other series, I think they charge like $30 on Mercari, so $30 for 4 is not that bad, considering they retail for $9 a piece, at least these two. And the other ones are $10 a piece. Okay, so 20 and 18. So would have been 38 if I bought them retail. But this basically follows a guy named Zen whose memory has been wiped and he can't remember if he's a killer or a hero. And a lot of people will do anything they can to keep it that way. So I did really enjoy this a lot when I read it. And it is a series that I hope to keep, because I know sometimes I go through phases with things. That was my back, sorry about that, guys. But I do really like this, and if at some point the library does get rid of it and is looking to replace it, I may donate it to them. I don't know. But definitely keeping it for now. This is one of the more darker shoujo that's out there. I'm just gonna say that right now. It is very dark, which is unusual to me from the shoujo that I've read, because most of them are like romance with slight elements of like a hint of being dark, but not really. This one is dark, so just keep that in mind if you tried to find the series at any point. Okay, now the other series that I got with Blank Slate is Soul Rescue. I have never heard of the series before, but I was intrigued, and since it came in the bundle with Blank Slate, I figured I would go ahead and give it a shot. It says, when angels are supposed to epitomize all that is perfect in love and mercy, where does a rogue angel fit into it all? Renji is one of heaven's most powerful but overly violent angels. As punishment for going too far in the last great battle against the demons, Renji is banished to Earth. His mission? Save 10,000 souls. But for an angel who's never known anything outside of fighting, there may be nothing in heaven or hell that can save him. Where bad boy angels must learn to love humanity, it's all in the Soul Rescue. Okay. Yeah, that does sound cool, honestly. The whole angel thing, and I know this is a bad comparison to make, but it made me think of Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, the novel. I still need to reread that series at some point, because I never read the last book. So I need to reread that at some point, but excited to discover a new to me series, just because I have, like I said, never heard of this until I got it in the bundle. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry, my allergies are really bad today. Now this one, I got the first 3 volumes of, and this just takes me back to when I first started reading manga consistently in 2012, and that is The Vision of Ascaflowne. I don't know if I'm actually saying that last part correct. It might be like Ascaflowne. I'm not sure, but I always have said Ascaflowne, so. But this follows Hitomi, who is a 16-year-old high school student with an interest in mysticism. But she experiences strange dreams at night. A mysterious temple, a tremendous jewel, a shadowy prince. The images trouble her, and a strange incantation keeps echoing in her mind. One day, during a simple fortune-telling at school, Hitomi feels a magical pull, and in a shocking moment, she is pulled from her body. She wakes up in a strange world where the earth hangs in the sky, and a headstrong prince asks her to power his god. Where is she? Why has she been transported? And will she really be able to wake the deity? The suit of armor. But I remember reading this so long ago and absolutely loving it. And I'm not someone who enjoys mech stuff. Like, I was never into Gundam like my brother was. So for me to have been into this was a big deal for me at the time, because I'm not normally a big mech person. Like, I'm not a big fan of Evangelion. A lot of people have told me to check that series out, and it just doesn't interest me. Partially because of it being a mech series, but the other part of it being that Shinji is a whiner, and I don't like my protagonists to be uberly whiny. I just don't. But yeah, I got all 3 of these for, I think it was like $20 or something, which isn't bad considering they retail for 10 each. So, alright, last stack, you guys. I told you this was a big haul. I only have 3 and 4 here, but I got 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the elder sister-like one. If you guys, I did do a review on volumes 1 and 2, if you guys haven't seen that review. But this basically follows a young boy named Yu, whose parents died at 5 in a car crash, and he's bounced back and forth between relatives for a place to stay. And he's always quiet and reserved, but his family thinks he's being snobbish about it, basically. Until eventually he ends up staying with an uncle. But said uncle goes into the hospital, so Yu basically takes care of the house, does cleaning and everything. And one day he's looking for his uncle's medical insurance card and can't find it in the house, and he decides to try the basement. Now, this is a big thing because his uncle always told him, do not go in the basement. No matter what you do, do not go in the basement. And the only reason you went down there was to try to find his card, his medical insurance card, which I totally understand that. If you can't find it in the house, then you gotta try something. But when he gets down there to the basement, he comes across this really ugly demon that's in there, and also her. And she is named Chio. And she starts talking with him, and she even says, I will grant you one wish for freeing me, I'm pretty sure is the words that she uses. So Yu just says, become my big sister so I'm not lonely anymore. And she does, and this all happens within like the first few pages of volume 1 either, so it's not a total spoiler. But it's also about her adapting, going from being a full-time demon to being a demon/human. So it is a very interesting series. I will admit there are a lot of suggestive tones in this. Like, if this was in a store, it'd be wrapped in plastic, like Volume 1 and 2 were. These two were from Macari and were not wrapped. So, just putting that out there right now. Generally, when publishers put plastic around their volume, it means it's 18 plus, or the graphic part of it is too much. They think that people might not be able to handle it. So it generally is what it means. Either so violent that it's become too much for some people, or overly sexual tones. And this one says explicit content. So if you're a parent of someone that loves reading manga and they're young and they pick up one that's wrapped, I would not grab that. For them, I would not. Unless I read the back of it first and felt like they could handle it. Otherwise, no. So, I know I have some subscribers on here that like watching with like their nieces and nephews and stuff. And if your nieces and nephews get into manga and they pull one from the shelf and it's in plastic, read the back first. That's all I'm saying. Okay, next is another series I read volume 1 of years ago. And that is Mark of the Succubus. This is by Ashley Wrighty. I think that's how you say it. But this follows a young girl named Maeve, who is a succubus in training. And she's sent to the human world to learn how to hone her skills. But things get a bit complicated when she sets her sights on Aiden, a smart but unmotivated student at her new high school. Meanwhile, the head succubus has sent a spy to make sure Maeve doesn't step out of line. But between Aiden's witchy girlfriend, his nutty best friend, biology class, and immoral conspiracies, Maeve is going to be lucky to make it out of high school alive. So, this, I read volume 1 in the past, and I really did enjoy it. So, I'm glad to have the trilogy to be able to read the full thing. So, it's definitely one of the more unique premises I've seen in manga, at least for back then, because this was made in, when was this one printed? I'm just looking to see when this one was printed exactly. This one was printed in 2000. I knew it was an older one. So 2000. So definitely a more unique premise for that year, in my opinion. And the last manga, I have one other thing to share after this, is, funnily enough, a Warcraft manga. I remember reading volume 1 of this years ago. Like years and years ago. And I liked it a lot. In fact, I think it was from the library. Either that or my brother had it. One of the two. But it is the Sunwell trilogy. This one is an ex-library copy. That's why it looks kind of beat up. But these two are good. But, like I said, I read volume 1 years ago. Years and years ago. And it says, it's an epic quest to save the world of Azeroth from the forces of the undead Scourge. Follows the adventures of Kalik, a blue dragon who has taken human form to investigate a mysterious power, and Anvina, I think is how you say it, a beautiful young maiden with an enchanting secret. So, it says, from the minds of Jaehwan Kim, artist of the best-selling King of Hell series, and Richard A. Knack, the New York Times best-selling author, here is the Warcraft universe. here is the Warcraft universe like you've never seen it before. Dragon Hunt is on. So just the concept behind this was really cool. And like here's the cover of volume 2. Volume 1, the dragon looks so much more fierce on volume 2. Volume 3 just looks really freaking cool. So I'm excited to actually be able to finish this trilogy because I've wanted to know how it ends. And so the fact that I own them now, I am so excited. Okay, now for the non-manga related thing, other than the figures. Which, let me just lift this up a little bit. There. You guys can kind of see them there. On the shelf. Like I said, the Funko on the far right on the bottom is not new, but the acrylic stands and the other figures are new. Because I got his Nendoroid and then a couple other figures. But anyway, there was someone on Mercari selling this art print, and I couldn't let it go. It is a really detailed Shishomaru art print. Sorry if you see reflection, but I went and got this frame for it yesterday. It is a 9x12, but I found an 11x14 and then just got this border separate and put it around it. So I really do love this. I hope to have it hanging by the shelves at some point. But I know, like, because I'm either gonna hang this under the shelves because I got some like small pink shelves to go with these two, or I'm gonna hang this on my door somewhere because it's not heavy, so it's not like the Kingdom one I have up there that weighs like 20 pounds. Not exaggerating that either, by the way. Okay, that is the end of this manga slash figure slash art print haul. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was insanely long, but I wanted to kind of give a synopsis on some of these because I know they are older, so people probably wouldn't have heard about them at all. So, but with all that being said, I will talk to you guys soon in another video, another time. Bye, roses. Annyeong.